Yeah, very special guest indeed. Katherine Ford of Equidia has very kindly joined me, and obviously a very strong French representation this year. Katherine, always great to see you here, and there is a decent team from France this year.
Yeah, it's always great to be here. Thanks very much to the Hong Kong Jockey Club for putting us all up for this week, and it's great to be here. The French do love the Hong Kong international races. They've won, I think, 14 races kind of in the history of this meeting, so we have a 3-strong challenge this year, and let's hope they go well.
It's a 3-strong challenge spread across a couple of trainers. The more well-known of them, of course, is Monsieur Fabre, who sends a couple. But let's start with the Cup before we get to his runners. Horizon Doré, now I believe is the pronunciation. You've very kindly set me straight on that. He's a smart horse. He's had a good summer. He's now stepping into the big time here in Hong Kong, but he's got some very good form.
Yeah, absolutely. He's really risen up through the ranks this season for trainer Patrice Cotier, who's having a great season. He's had his first Group 1 win with Sauternes in the Prix du Moulin. And this Horizon Doré, a horse that they've always thought a lot of, the Cheboub family, of course, Goosery Racing, who shone in the Arc with Ace Impact as co-owners of the Arc Hero. So this horse is a gelding, obviously, so his career has panned out differently, but they've always had big international targets for him. He went over, of course, to the UK for a first Group 1 test in the Champion Stakes and ran quite creditably in that. And if the season hasn't been too long for him, then he's probably, in my mind, the best of the French horses here this week.
He's certainly very exciting. I know a lot of people are very keen on him. We mentioned, obviously, that André Fabre sends a couple. Tribalist for Godolphin, Junko for the Wertheimer brothers. Tribalist, he's a hard-knocking sort of horse, isn't he, really? He sort of turns up, runs his race, and more than often usually wins.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had a great season this year. He won several group races, including the Group 2 Prix du Muguet. But we forget that last year, as a 3-year-old, he was classic placed. He was third in the Poule d'Essai des Poulains. He had a bit of a break, probably a minor setback. I'm not totally sure of the details over the summer. He was touted as maybe a horse for the Lockinge, and then he ended up staying in France. But he won his last race as a trial. It was on very soft, very heavy ground up at Saint-Cloud, but that was more kind of, he won in spite of the ground, not because of the ground. I spoke to Mikel Barcelona on the Jockey's Challenge presentation, and he was having a look at him going past Tribalist, and he seemed to think that the ground should suit him here. So, it's obviously a very, very tough race, but I think Tribalist is a kind of an up-and-coming horse for this type of circuit.
Of course, his trainer certainly wouldn't just send him for the fresh air at all. And they've also got a runner in the Vars. Junko runs in there. Winner of a Group 1 last time. Very small field. I think there were only 4 runners in Germany. But that said, he's a Group 1 winner. They can't take it away from him, and he's clearly quite talented.
Yeah, he's another one who has been kind of posting this kind of profile as an international traveller. He went over to Dubai in March. Maybe tactically things didn't quite go his way that day. He was 6th, I think, in the Dubai turf. He's a horse, he hasn't quite grown into the horse that I was hoping or expecting he might do, but he does have some classy performances. 3rd to Westover in the Grand Prix de Saint-Cloud, and then, as you mentioned, that Group 1 in Germany. It was on Breeders' Cup weekend, beating kind of some decent German performers, Assistent and the mare, Group 1 winning mare, India. But again, up against top-class competition such as Warm Heart, a filly I really like for Aidan O'Brien, and also Sharia under the adopted French jockey Christian de Muro, so we'll take a bit of that for France. A nice horse, but in this kind of competition, I think maybe place getting is the best we can hope for.
I mean, the French tradition have always actually done very well in this race. I mean, I had a look at their record the other night, and it's quite something, isn't it, really?
Yeah, 10 wins in the Vars, and the last French success here in Hong Kong was actually in the Vars. It was back in 2014, so it's time we get another one to take back to France.
I want to ask you just finally, obviously outside of the French horses, who you're looking forward to most, but you might well have just answered that for me, quite possibly. But it's a wonderful meeting, Katherine, as always. Obviously the local horses certainly deserve plenty of respect. Golden 60, Romantic Warrior to name but 2. Yeah,
absolutely. Romantic Warrior, what he did recently over in Australia was great for the profile of Hong Kong racing. Golden 60, he's a legend all the way around the world. It would be fantastic to see him at his age come back and equal the record of Good Baba with 3 wins in the mile. And then, Lucky Swainesi. So, great to see it. And I'm also a big fan of the Japanese with the likes of Sharia, Namur, Serifos, I think could run well. And, so looking forward to it.
I don't think I speak for all the locals, but I certainly would love to see a French winner possibly. Good luck, and I hope you're enjoying the rest of your time here, and it looks fair to be a wonderful meeting Sunday.
Certainly will. Thanks very much.